several times a week I'll get emails from guys asking about penis size, and they're always asking the same thing. They're always asking if I know of ways to increase penis size. Sometimes they'll send me a link to a website that claims to help guys increase penis size, and they'll ask me if I know anything about it, if I can vouch for it, does it work, doesn't it work? And you know, usually, in fact always, I'll write back to these guys and I'll say to them, I don't know whether it works or not. I've heard some guys say they have some success increasing penis size, but really I'd focus on much more important things. See, I have had some guys email me and say that they gained like half an inch in circumference or half an inch length on their penis after 6 months of busting their ass for 30 minutes every day doing these crazy penis enhancing exercises. And that doesn't really seem like much reward, you know, half an inch for 30 minutes a day for 6 months. Do the maths, 180 days times 30 minutes a day. My maths ain't good enough to do this on camera, but that's a lot of time, that's a lot of hours spent for a pretty modest goal in penis size. And I think really what you should be aware of is that these products, and you'll see them on the internet, these products that say that you can gain 2 inches or 4 inches in 2 weeks, complete bullshit. They are lying out of their asses, scamming insecure, needy men into writing them big checks, you know, pulling out the credit card and giving them a load of money. It's not going to happen. If you've got 6 inches, I don't think you're going to turn it into 10. If you've got 4 inches, you're not going to turn it into 8. You might be able to gain half an inch or an inch, but it's going to take you a long time and it's going to take a lot of effort, and that's really all I know about it. But the big question is, does penis size even fucking matter? And the answer is no, it doesn't. And I'm going to tell you why in this video. I'm going to share some thoughts with you on penis size. Some of them are a bit controversial, but what the fuck, I'm going to tell it like it is, based on my experience with women, based on my best clients' experiences with women, based on hundreds of conversations with women. So let's get into it. Here it is, penis size 101, everything you need to know as a man about your dick. So the truth is, penis size doesn't matter. Here's why. The size of your penis has nothing to do with the amount of pleasure you give your woman. Seriously, it has nothing to do with it. The amount of pleasure you give your woman has everything to do with your ability to dominantly lead her in the bedroom and stimulate her mind. How do you stimulate her mind? With dirty talk. Honestly, you get good at those two things, dominance and dirty talk, and it doesn't matter whether you've got 3 inches or 12 inches or much more likely something in between, you are going to be fucking dynamite in bed. Let me tell you something. I estimate that less than 0.01% of the population, the male population, knows how to be dominant and knows how to talk dirty in the bedroom. I am not exaggerating in the slightest. I think it's less than 0.01%. How do any guys know how to do this? But when you're able to act dominantly and you're able to talk dirty in the bedroom, you find that it becomes ridiculously easy to give women orgasms, regardless of your penis size. Listen, I've been to bed with women who told me they were size queens. Did this bother me? No. I had one girlfriend who I dated for nearly a year who told me when we met each other on Facebook, don't laugh, we met on Facebook, that she had 3 boyfriends who each had in excess of 10 inches. I mean, 10 inches is a pretty big dick, right? You might hear guys talk about having 10 inches, but a true 10 inches, I'm pretty reliably informed from many women, that's very rare. This girl had met 3 of these guys. Didn't bother me, because I knew that the likelihood that any one of these guys had really blown her mind was slim to none. Anyway, within a week I'd given her vaginal orgasms and she was experiencing multiple orgasms during intercourse every single time, and she was completely addicted to the sex. Interestingly, she'd never had multiple vaginal orgasms during intercourse. In fact, she'd never had a vaginal orgasm full stop with these guys who were all very well hung. Their penis size didn't hurt them and it didn't help them. It was irrelevant. They didn't give her vaginal orgasm. And this is the secret. If you go out and you ask a bunch of women who've only ever had clitoral orgasms, or women who've had no orgasms, whether or not penis size matters, what you'll find is that maybe half of them will say that it does. Some of them will say that it does because they're confused and their girlfriends have said it does, therefore it must be right. Others of them will have been to bed with men who only focus on the clitoris. And what these guys do is, during intercourse, they rub the clitoris and they get her off that way. And if they're not rubbing the clitoris, she doesn't come. So when these guys are going in and out of her, when they're thrusting in and out of her, she's not having an orgasm. But the guys with a bigger dick might stretch her out a little bit more, they might open her up a little bit more, and therefore she feels a bit more pleasure. And she says, oh, well, it must be a penis size thing. This guy had a bigger dick, I felt more pleasure, so clearly a bigger dick is better. That all changes if you go out and talk to women who've experienced vaginal orgasms. And every woman can experience vaginal orgasms. She just needs the right guy, a guy who's dominant, a guy who can talk dirty, and a guy who knows the correct techniques to produce those vaginal orgasms. And if you ask 50 women who've all experienced vaginal orgasms, you ask women who experience vaginal orgasms every single time, does penis size matter? And I promise you, 95% of them or more will say, no, it doesn't. Because it doesn't. It does not matter. Here's the thing, right? This is the thing to remember. It's very easy to think that a woman is going to bed with you because of the way you look, or because of how much money you have, or because of how funny or interesting or powerful you are, or because of how much of a gangster you are. You know, whatever. There's loads of reasons why guys think women go to bed with guys. You know why women go to bed with guys? At least emotionally healthy women. They go to bed with guys because they think they're going to have a good time. They think they're going to have a good time. They think they're going to experience a lot of sexual pleasure. That's why she's going to bed with you, because she wants to experience sexual pleasure. And this is how you find sometimes guys who are short, fat and ugly, and yet they've got 4 gorgeous girlfriends because they're dynamite in bed. And I know guys like that. Guys who are short, fat, ugly and don't have much money, who have several red-hot girlfriends because they're dynamite in bed. Now, those women might not stay with them forever, you know, sooner or later they might want a family, they might want a guy who is a bit more financially stable, etc. But yeah, I know short, fat, ugly guys who aren't well endowed, who don't have much money, who are able to make women completely addicted to them in bed because they give them incredible pleasure. Now, there are loads of ways to give a woman pleasure, right? You can give a woman pleasure, you can make her come using nothing but your voice. You can use nothing but dirty talk, and you can make her come extremely hard. You can make a woman come by fucking her in the ass. You can make a woman come by spanking her, by stimulating her nipples, by sucking her lip. You can make a woman come in literally hundreds of different ways. The only limit is your imagination. But there's one kind of orgasm that changes everything, and it's the one that makes penis size irrelevant, and it is, of course, the vaginal orgasm. See, if all you do is focus on the clitoris, like most guys do, you'll only ever give her one orgasm, because after she has that one clitoral orgasm, the clitoris becomes hypersensitive, and she doesn't want you to touch it anymore because it becomes irritating or even painful. The vagina doesn't suffer that same hypersensitivity post-orgasm. Most women cannot give themselves vaginal orgasms. The techniques are too awkward for them to make it happen. So they need a guy, a stud, a guy like you to come along, a guy who can lead her, a guy who can talk dirty, a guy who knows the correct fingering techniques to make her vaginally orgasmic. And guess what happens when you make her vaginally orgasmic? She starts having multiple orgasms every single time. And at that point, when you're able to give her multiple vaginal orgasms every single time, first with your fingers and then during intercourse, she doesn't care what you look like. She doesn't care how big, small or average your penis size is. She doesn't care how much money you've got or how much political power you do or don't have. She doesn't care. She just wants pleasure. And the amount of pleasure, this is the point of this video, the amount of pleasure that you as a man are able to give your woman has nothing to do with penis size. Yeah, there are some women out there who call themselves size queens, but trust me, I've met those women, and when you give them real pleasure, they change their views. They start to realise that they don't need 11 inches to have a wild time. And actually, you can give her more pleasure than the guy who doesn't know what he's doing, who has 11 inches. If you do the 3 things, if you act dominantly and lead her, if you talk dirty to stimulate her mind, and if you know the correct fingering and intercourse and grinding techniques that you can use to give her these multiple vaginal orgasms during intercourse. I'm telling you, the penis size thing is complete bullshit. If you read mainstream magazines, men's magazines or women's magazines, they'll just confuse the hell out of you. Some articles will say penis size matters, some say it doesn't matter, some say it matters to some women, some say it doesn't matter to some other women. It's all bullshit. The truth is, penis size doesn't matter. What matters is your ability to give your woman sexual pleasure. That's the difference. Giving her sexual pleasure is the difference between her being hot, wet and horny for you all the time and her thinking about other guys or even cheating or even leaving you for another guy who can get her off. Your ability to get her off has nothing to do with penis size. It's everything to do with dominance, dirty talk, and the correct fingering and intercourse techniques. You master those three things, you can become the best your woman's ever had. Heck, you can probably become the best guy in your hometown or city, because so few men understand this. Well, where's it taught? Where do guys get taught how to be good in bed? I mean, I teach guys how to be good in bed, but we don't get taught it at school. I remember being 16 years old in the sex education class, was putting a condom on a carrot. I mean, it was fucking embarrassing. The teacher didn't know what to do, she didn't know where to look. Half the kids were laughing, the other half were embarrassed. It was a fucking joke. And that was it. That was the sex education. And you were meant to go out and then be good in bed. How does that work? There's no university courses that teach this. You know, there's a few guys like me who teach this shit. And it's really important, because as a man, I don't think there's anything else that's more important in life than knowing that you can please your woman in bed. And I want you, if there's one thing you take away from this video, I want it to be the fact that you know that penis size doesn't really matter. And I don't want you to focus on it. I don't want you to waste your time trying to change something you can't really change. Or if you can change it, you can't change it by much. You know, it's going to take you 6 months, 30 minutes of effort a day, trying to learn, trying to gain half an inch on your dick. Well, that doesn't make any difference. It's irrelevant. It's a waste of time, effort and energy. How would you be better off spending those 30 minutes a day if you want to blow your woman's mind in bed? How about you read my programs? How about you read Better in Bed? How about you read Dirty Talk Phrases, Ultimate Orgasm Techniques? How about you read Bedroom Boss? Those programs are going to teach you the things that matter. They're going to teach you the things that let you give your woman incredible sexual pleasure, regardless of how you look, regardless of how long your penis is or how wide it is or isn't. They're going to teach you about dominance, dirty talk, and the correct fingering techniques, the correct intercourse techniques. They're going to make you more sexually creative. Those are the things women want. Women want a guy who takes control and leads them. Women want a guy who can talk dirty. They want a guy who's sexually creative so it doesn't get boring and samey. They don't want the same sex every time. And ultimately, they want a guy who can give them orgasms. You can give your woman orgasms regardless of your penis size. You just got to commit to mastering those things: dominance, dirty talk, sexual creativity, and the correct orgasm techniques. For more information, why don't you visit the programs page on my website by clicking the link directly below this video. Pick a program: Better in Bed, Dirty Talk Phrases, Ultimate Orgasm Techniques, Bedroom Boss. Take your pick. Pick one program. Read it. Don't get sidetracked. Read that program and immediately take action. Go use some of the techniques with your woman. Start being more dominant in the bedroom. Start using more dirty talk. Use the correct fingering and orgasm techniques. And I promise you, you will give your woman mind-blowing sex. And women talk about this shit. So she's going to go out and tell her girlfriends what a stud you are in bed. And if you don't blow her mind in the bedroom, she might go out with her girlfriends and share coffee and tell them about how crap you are in bed. So the choice is yours. If you want to be better in bed, click the link directly below this program to view my entire program range. Pick one, take action, and let me know how you get on, and I'll talk to you soon.